What's up, y'all? I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick video. Anybody that doesn't know, I'm Joseph. I do the Just for Today, and I usually go live with Jewel. That's my partner. We're a part of Breaking the Chains. It's our little recovery group that we have, and we hold events in our community to raise money for women trying to get into recovery programs. So that's a little background on who I am, what I do. Um, I'm originally from Maryland, but I moved to Texas this year. So I live in Houston currently, but I was born and raised in Maryland. So that's just a little background. Um, my addiction is alcohol, for anybody that doesn't know. But I grew up around other addicts. My mother was a drug addict. My dad was an alcoholic. Grandfathers, uncles, grandmothers, so all the way down the line, cousins. So pretty much, it was kind of what I was around, what I saw, what I grew up in. Um, and today, because I'm doing this in a group, I really want to talk about accountability. And the reason I want to talk about that topic is I see a lot of people in these groups, especially this one, and they've forgotten about accountability. And to me, accountability is almost like right when you admit you have a problem and you get yourself clean. Accountability is like, to me, the accountability part kind of comes before you even get clean. Like, you got to start taking accountability for yourself, your own actions, your own choices. Um, in my opinion, if you don't have accountability, you're not gonna make it far in life in general. Not just as a clean and sober person, but you're not gonna make it far in life. Period. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I see a lot of people. It's like, and some people are so delusional to the fact that they're not taking accountability. You know what I mean? They're so far removed from owning their problems and their choices and taking accountability for their actions that they're kind of clueless. They don't even know that they're not holding themselves accountable for anything. It's like I can go down the list of things that I see where it's like, people always get in a group and talk about, I reached out and nobody helped me. I only got such and such comments. I only got such and such responses. And it's like, where are you at? Where are you in your recovery? Yeah, it's a community. Yeah, we're supposed to help each other, but ultimately, it's up to you. Ultimately, whether you want to be clean and sober is up to you. It's not up to anybody else. I can tell you all the things in the world. A doctor, somebody at a rehab, and I just think about, like, for a lot of us, how long have we been down this road? And at this point in life, you still don't want to take ownership for your life and where you are and what choices you make. You relapsing has nothing to do with anybody else but you. You chose to relapse. You chose to use. You chose to drink. Nobody else had anything to do with it. And I just feel like it makes you weak. When you pass off blame to everybody else, it makes you a weak individual, and it makes it harder for you to stay clean and sober because you're always waiting on somebody else to pick you up and put you where you need to be. I see it all the time. I see it with, you know, um, when I used to volunteer at the homeless shelter. I used to see, like, they grown ass men, 50, 60 years old, waiting for somebody else to make shit happen for them. That's not life. That's not the real world. And I know it's like, I also see on these pages where it's always like, what happened to all the positivity? I'm a real positive person. If you don't believe me, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can search my name on here and you can go back and watch plenty of my videos. I'm all about positivity, but sometimes people need a smack in the ass. And that's just the reality of it. You can't baby addicts. You can't hold addicts' hands. You can't walk them through life and do everything for them, or they're never going to get better. Because the moment you're not there, they're going to fall. They're going to fuck up. It's impossible for you to expect somebody else to keep you clean and keep you sober. And it's a childish way of living. My daughter expects me to make her breakfast. My daughter expects me to get her dressed. My daughter expects me to give her a bath. All these things my daughter expects me to do. You're not a child anymore. Half of us in this group are well over 20. Some of us are in our 30s, 40s, 50s. You know what I mean? But I understand at the same time, so some perspective, because you've been living your life so long not taking accountability for anything because you were an addict or an alcoholic. So your whole life was just use drugs, drink alcohol, party, fuck up, who cares? But once you get into recovery, you got to get rid of that shit. You got to get that shit out your life. You got to start looking at that person in the mirror and owning up to your life and owning up to where you are and owning up to your mistakes, owning up to why you are where you are. A lot of us like to blame our parents. Like I gave you my family history in the beginning of the video. If somebody could cop out and make an excuse, I definitely could. But I don't. I don't, because it makes me weak. It's just an excuse. If I constantly blame my family members and talk about my childhood, wham, what's that going to do for me? Where's that going to get me in life? It's not going to get me anywhere. It's gone. It already happened. What's it got to do with right now? And I understand you got to handle your past and deal with it, but deal with it and move the fuck on. And I'm only coming off aggressive in this video because I want you to get better. I want you to heal. I want you to recover. Your family needs you. Your kids need you. Your parents need you. Your friends need you. You need you. And you're not you when you're fucked up. How many of us did shit that we normally wouldn't do? All of us. But now that you're sober and you're in your right state of mind, you need to take accountability for your life and take accountability for your actions, your choices. What's up, Jewel? And I really don't like doing this because somebody's not here anymore out of the scenario. Not gonna say names, not gonna say nothing about it as far as personal goes, because I don't know the people. You know, I feel for their family. I feel for what they're going through. We've all lost people. But there was a post where a girl got, put out of a halfway house or a recovery house because she was using. And I saw so many fucking comments just blaming them, blaming the recovery house. That is the lowest form of accountability I've ever seen in my life. You're going to blame the people that are putting their hand out and busting their ass to help you. You're going to blame them because they had to put somebody out because they were using and jeopardizing the whole group. You know what I'm saying? How can you say that, oh, I take accountability for my life, yet you're playing the blame game? I see all the time where people blame drug dealers. If there was no addicts, there would be no drug dealers. If there was nobody buying the shit, there would be nobody selling the shit. It's not that man's fault that he's doing what he knows and he's trying to make the best out of his life and his situations. And you're going to blame him? He's in a bad spot too. Where's the sympathy at for him? You OD, you die, he gets a 25-year sentence. 2 people gone. 2 capable. I'm sure them 2 people have plenty of talents. Could have did anything they wanted in life if they worked and took some accountability. And now they're both gone. One's in the ground, one's in the system. What's that solve? Not a fucking thing. And how many of us in this group have sold drugs? Or influenced other people to use drugs? Or influenced other people to drink? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm talking about accountability. Because we say things and we think things and we're not even being aware of ourselves and what we're saying and how much it looks like and how much we have to realize, like, man, I've taken no accountability for where I'm at right now. It's easy to say it. Saying something don't mean a lot. It's what you do. It's how you operate. It's the other things you say, your intentions on the things you say, that show me more whether you're holding yourself accountable or not. Just because my mom was putting 40s in the fridge when I was 16, 17 years old doesn't mean that I had to drink them. And it doesn't mean that when I realized I had a problem that I kept drinking for another fucking 10 years, 12 years. Because I wasn't taking accountability. I was looking for excuses so I could keep drinking and doing what I wanted to do. People say relapse is, reservations in your program. That's all it is. You wasn't sure you really wanted to quit, or you had a moment of weakness. I see all the time, people, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, my boyfriend left me. What's that got to do with you using? There's people who get divorced and split up all the time, but they don't become drug addicts. I lost my kids. The state took my kids from me. So I relapsed. But they took your kids from you because you were using drugs. Why are you going to use that as an excuse? Take accountability. My wife used to say all the time, anything that comes after but stinks. I did this but. Nah, man, you just did it. That's it. Own it and move the fuck on. Don't look for nobody else to point your finger at for why your life is the way it is. Mary says blame is putting off action for your life. Hell yeah, you're right. 100%. That's my point. The more you play the blame game, the less you take accountability for where you're at, the longer your life is going to stay in shambles because you're not addressing real issues because you're the fucking problem and you're blaming everybody else for it. We don't have to have rehabs. Get some free time, get in your phone, get on the Google machine and check out how many jails there are, how many rehabs. Do the comparison. And then I want you to look at the facts and figures on how many people are locked up for nonviolent crimes that have a drug problem. So they're going to word the article that this young lady was put out and she was found dead to make it look bad on the rehabs. Like it's their responsibility. Like they did something wrong. And then everybody will be like, I need to get into treatment, but I can't find a treatment center. Well, articles like that. It's already hard enough. They make a lot of money off the jails. It's big business. And you'll say, well, our tax dollars pay for jail. Okay. You don't think they exaggerate how much they take from taxes for that? I was in jail. I don't see how it costs $40,000 to $60,000 a year to house me. And that's per inmate. So, some people in the free world, they make half that and still live. So I don't understand. You know what I mean? I don't get it. But to me, the judicial system funnels in more money than a rehab facility does. And that part of it has nothing to do with accountability. It's just the way the system's wired. So knowing that and being an addict or an alcoholic and wanting more people to get help, you should probably do your best to speak good on rehabs and facilities that try to help, and halfway houses and recovery houses and different programs, because that's how we get better. They help us. So for anybody that commented on that article and they were just so disgusted at the rehab facility, I want you to sit down and really ask yourself why you feel that way. There's only so much you can do for somebody that doesn't want the help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right, Angie, I agree. That's what I'm saying. And they put out the numbers and they're like, this is how much it costs to house the average inmate. I'm like, where, motherfucker? Where? Because you got all of us crammed on this one block. And I know the food don't cost that much. But still, whatever. That's not the point. More so the point is, don't undermine the facilities that we actually need in this place, that we actually need out here. We need more rehabs. We need more halfway houses. We need more centers. And to see a fellow addict or alcoholic, ridicule and trash a rehab because they had to put somebody out and it ended poorly, it just blows my fucking mind. Like, I just don't understand. And it's sad. I'm not passing off nothing, but at least they were trying to help. That's what I'm talking about, like the accountability factor. Like, how many times when you were using drugs and you asked your mom for $20 and she only gave you 10 and you threw a hissy fit and punched the walls and did all kind of crazy shit because you didn't have enough money to get what you needed. Where's the accountability? Go make your own fucking money. She didn't have to give you the damn 10. And you're carrying that same behavior into your recovery. That's what I'm saying. I understand where the behavior comes from, but when you step into recovery, you got to let that shit, you got to get rid of it. Yeah, right, Crystal. It's big business. That's what I'm saying. So when I see people drive down a rehab or a recovery facility, it hurts me because I'm like, why would you do that? You're in a clean and sober group. Why would you do that? I went to a rehab for alcohol because I had a trial coming up, and I went in there. I just went in there to help my sentence, to get 30 days off my sentence, and I actually got a lot out of it while I was in there. And when I left, even though I did really good in the rehab and people were proud of me and were, telling me I did so good in there, when I got out and I did my sentence, when my sentence was over and when I went home, I was drinking as soon as I got home. Because it's not their responsibility. They can't always go home with me. They can't follow me all around the world. And it's not their responsibility to. They're trying to help. Help doesn't always mean it's going to fix me. I'm a human being. Human beings can't be fixed by anyone but ourselves. So a lot of us need to be, mindful when we're speaking, when we're commenting, when we're saying things, and make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable at every step, every turn, every corner, every word, because it will make your recovery stronger. It will make you depend on you for your recovery. You understand? If you're waiting on recovery for somebody else, it's going to be a long, long, long journey for you. And like I said, it's terrible, man. People OD all the time. They're ODing left, right, and center. It's a big deal. It's getting out of control. And I'm sure the treatment facilities get overwhelmed sometimes. And it's a fragile situation. What would you have them do? Let's say there's a recovery house, there's 10 of us in there, and I come in there nodding out and shit. You don't think that's going to trigger some people in there? And what would it say to the rest of the group This is the most important part, so make sure you listen. For the people that thought they should have did something else. What would it tell the rest of the group if the house leader, I'll give you another chance, bro. It's okay. Just go press your bunk, go lay in your bed, and we'll talk about this in the morning. Everything okay. The rest of them gonna be like, damn, we don't gotta be homeless. We can use drugs and we'll get another free pass. And that whole fucking house is gonna crumble. I guarantee you. I can promise you. 99% of that house will fall. If the house manager comes to somebody who's in there high and fucking up, and they don't put their ass out, what do you think's gonna happen? What do you think that's gonna tell the rest of the group? Oh, he don't care. He's cool. Yeah, he's cool. He's not doing his fucking job. He needs to put him out. Because it's jeopardizing everybody else. And I don't know what you would have him do. Because once he tells them to pack their bags and to leave, once they have transportation and they leave, he can't do anything for them. It's not up to him to figure out. And he could even make a call. He could call rehab and say, hey, I got you. I've seen him do it before. I got you a bed lined up. It's going to take a week. Can you hang on for a week? You got somewhere to stay. And they'll say, yeah. And the whole time in their mind, they just want to go get high. And they go out, they get high. And sometimes the dice don't fall the way they should. And you don't make it. That's the reality of it. And that's why you need to take accountability, because if you don't take ownership, you're never going to recover. If you don't take control of your life and own up to the parts you play in your life, which is the biggest part, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard for you. So like I said, I know this might come off a little wrong, but I'm just telling you because it's for your own benefit. And a lot of us in these groups are fresh into recovery, so we haven't even started doing the work. You know what I mean? We're just getting clean. And a lot of us don't really understand the accountability factor yet because we ain't got there. And I understand that. That's another reason why this message is going to be here right now, because that's the first thing you need to do. Once you admit you have a problem, you need to start working on owning up to your shit. My mom she was in several rehabs, several halfway houses, and she would call me and everything would be all good, program, and then a couple weeks into it, it would be, well, this girl did this, this girl did that, this girl's doing this. Like, what the fuck's that got to do with you? You're not there for that. You're there for you. What have you done while you've been there? What have you been doing? That's what I used to tell her all the time. Because to me, it's a warning sign. I look at that shit like a warning sign. Yeah, Angie, it's a big release. Like, once you, and this is why I'm saying it too, because I'm all about, trying to empower us, because we are powerful people. Everyone on the planet has power. They just have to own it. And I want you to empower yourself. I want you to take your life back. But you can't do it if you pretend you don't have any stake in where you are or what your life's like, or the things that happen to you. Accountability is just as important as healing from your past. To me, they're two of the most crucial parts of recovery. You need to look back at your past and let it go, because a lot of us drag it with us all the way to the end of our lives, and it just weighs us down and holds us back. So a lot of us need to dig into our past and actually heal from it. This happened to me, but I'm still here. I still have a chance. I can still do something different. I can still lead a normal life. And then we need to start taking ownership for the parts we've played and the things that we've done. There was somebody who did a video in here a while ago, and they were talking about how you're a child and somebody abused you, right? And we coddle the abused child later on in life because we feel sorry for them, and we do everything for them. We try to make their life a lot better because something unfortunate happened to them, whether it be physical, mental, whatever the case. I'm not going to get into all that. It doesn't really matter. Um, and then we look at the abuser like a piece of garbage. Fuck them, right? Not realizing that the abuser was also abused, but never healed. You know what I mean? And that's like, to me, that's why it's so important to try to look at the past, especially now that you're away from it. That's not happening to me anymore. I'm free. That part of my life is over. I'm in a new chapter, but I need to heal and let it go. And there's all kind of ways you can go about doing it. I'm not going to get into it in the video because that's not what it's about. I can do a video on that later on, how to heal from your past. I might do that. That might be my next one. But the accountability part is just like, the reason why I'm so pressed on that is just because it's been like running rampant in the groups. I just see so much shit where it's just no accountability. How many times you see somebody, I'm going to leave the group because nobody's helping me and nobody's doing this and nobody's doing that. And you'll go look at their comment or their little post that they made, and you'll get on there and it'll have fucking 5 comments, 6 comments, 7 comments, 10 comments. I'm like, bro, that's 10 people that if it wasn't for this group, you'd have never had access to. And they tried to help you, But what you chose to do after that was up to you. How you chose to feel about it and who you choose to blame is up to you. And if I could blame people for everything that went wrong in my life, I wouldn't be right here where I am right now. And it's not like I wouldn't be justified. There's a lot of times I'd be justified in throwing a little fit and blaming the world for shit. But where's it going to get me? That's what I always ask myself. How is this, what I'm about to do, going to benefit me in the future? How's it going to benefit me right now? So it's just something that I wanted you guys to hear. Thought maybe it might help open some eyes. And I mean, it's in the literature, it's in the work, it's in every book. It's in common sense. It's in regular life. You got to take accountability. You got to take ownership for the parts you play and the things that you do and where you are in your life. And that's pretty much the size of it. So, to end the video, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, they disagree, whatever, feel free to message me on my personal page. Also, if you need any help, I'm going to say right now, reach out. I will respond to you. Feel free to message me if you need something. Not saying I can save you. There's no cure for what you have. Because a lot of what you have is a lot about you and the choices that you make. I can try to help you make some better choices or help you gain some clarity, and that's the best I can do for you. So if you need anything, feel free, hit me up. And just practice, practice taking accountability for things and taking some ownership. Practice healing your past and, letting it go. If you got to write a letter and burn it or whatever you got to do. If you got to hit the person up and confront it head on, go for it. Whatever gets you right, whatever is going to help you. But we got to work together. We got to stick together. We're not going to get anywhere pointing fingers at people for shit and trying to create a witch hunt for people. It's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. Our work is to be done right here on the ground. If we help get each other clean and sober and we do the work and we stay clean and sober, that's how we have the biggest impact. And that's just my opinion. That's what I think is the most important. And, for a lot of us, this life ends in death. And we never lead a normal life. And you just sometimes got to take it that serious. I don't like being doom and gloom, but with the heroin and the pills and shit, man, it's getting out of control. And people, I'm telling you, I've seen a big change in the last 5 years in my community. Young kids, people I never would have imagined, people I went to school with. I'm like, damn, bro, really? You know? And it's just, I don't know. I feel like the way it starts is, first you got to admit you have a problem, then you got to go get some help, and then you got to start doing the rest of the work after that. Heal from your past, take accountability for yourself, plan your future. Got to have something to look forward to in life, or you'll get stale, you'll get bored. Don't settle. Go after whatever it is you want. As long as it's not drugs and alcohol, go after whatever it is you want. You got some work to do. You got some time to make up. We lost a lot of time in this life. So anybody find this beneficial, go ahead, share it out. And like I said, feel free to hit me up if you need me. And stay clean, stay sober, even if it's just for today. Thank you.